right, after watching the video on WaterCycle, you should have been able to come up with some definitions based on what he told you and even put them in your own words. So let's take a look. WaterCycle. Zoe. Okay, it does renew water. Tell me what it does, but what is it? What is the water cycle? Cycle of water, what does that mean? What's the cycle of water?
It's like a life. Yeah.
The process of what? Moving water. Moving water through what? What the heck am I spelling? Moving water. It is through a cycle. Moving water through the what? Through the earth. Is it continuous? Yes, it's continuous. Now, your words may not be my words. That's fine, as long as it has the same meaning. So it's really a continuous movement of water through the earth. All right. Evaporation. What's evaporation? Yep. It's a liquid changing to a gas. No boiling. Doesn't need boiling. Humidity. Yep. Here's my texting. The amount of water vapor in the air. A lot of water vapor is said to be what? Very well. Very humid. And for instance, if it was very humid outside today, then Alyssa's hair would look like how? Not like that. It will look very poofy because the humidity, her hair would start grabbing the humidity. If I had my hair down and it was flat, then I went out and humid, it would become very poofy. All right. I mean, it is, but maybe if you didn't want to wear your hair like that day, then it would be so great. Okay, condensation. Yep. Gases cooling in air. We're missing something though. Changing back to a liquid. So this is when a gas changes to a liquid. Now, question. What's the opposite of condensation? Read what we have. What's the opposite of condensation? Evaporation. Condensation is a gas to a liquid. Evaporation is a liquid to a gas. So opposite, if you know one, you can know the other. Opposite of evaporation. So what's the opposite of condensation? Evaporation. What's the opposite of evaporation? Condensation. Opposite of condensation. Now you've all experienced condensation in the lunchroom. Think about it. Tell me how. How have you experienced condensation in the lunchroom, Libby? And you got classes in the lunchroom? What'd you say? Milk. What happens with milk? There's water on the outside of your carton. Is your milk leaking? Yes. What's happening? Condensation. When you have that milk sitting in the refrigerator, everything is the temperature that it needs to be. Once you take it out of that refrigerator unit and bring it onto your tray, that air is now cooling back in that water is now cooling back into the air, turning from a gas back to a liquid. That's why it looks like your milk carton is sweating.
Yeah, I thought it was just
Yeah, because it has pores and it's humid. Right? All right. Precipitation. This is an old one. It's not one that you needed the video for. Okay. So water, he said falling from the sky. The sky is falling. As what? Snow, sleet, hail, Hail, and rain. So raise your hand. Okay. Gravity. Gravity's an old word. We learned that with force and motion. It is a force. And what force that pulls? That pulls things where? To the center of the earth. Good? Roger. You want to, excuse me, do the next one? Right off. What time? Okay. I'm going to add a little bit to that. When water, I'm going to say enters back to lakes, oceans, streams, any of those things are bodies of water. From land. So when the water hits the land and it goes back into a body of water, that's called what? Runoff. Groundwater. What's groundwater? So this is basically water underground. And here's a little hint. This is where our water comes from. This is the water we use. Because what happens is, when you turn on your faucet, like this, when you turn on the faucet, this water just doesn't come from underneath the cabinet, it's stored there. It's pipes that's connected underground, which is tapped into a well, which is tapped into the groundwater. The groundwater that we use that's tapped in is from our water municipal. It also goes through a filtration unit to filter out our water authority system, which goes through a filtration system that cleans our water, takes out some of the bad stuff. Now, if I said some, not all, because we can't get rid of all of it. Takes out some of the bad stuff so that once it gets to our faucet, it's okay for us to cook with, clean with, drink, and all of that great stuff. Some people don't go through all of that. They just tap a well in the backyard and they pull the water from their well right there. Now, it's all what people want. But our water goes from runoff back into bodies of water, or it goes into the groundwater. This is all being collected. This is the earth getting back what belongs to it, collecting it back. All right, transpiration. What's that? So it's plants releasing water back to air. And it goes from a liquid to a gas. Not a solid. You ever seen a plant throwing hail balls? No. You don't see this happening. It's kind of like a plant sweating, but it's not the plant being wet. It's not the plant being wet. It's the plant giving off liquid as a gas. We give off liquid as a liquid. That's us perspiring. We sweat. We perspire. Plants transpire. They give off the liquid as a gas. Question. All right. So now that you have these vocabulary words, now we're going to illustrate it. Okay? So I want you to take your paper that looks like this and put this in front of you. You didn't follow my son that was up here. Read it again. Press his back. And now it's exactly the instructions. All right, and in front of you, you have color pencils, markers, crayons. We are not getting up to sharpen anything. If you have a color pencil that's not sharpened, then use the crayons or the markers that are in front of you. Do you understand? All right, if you don't have a specific color, draw it with your pencil and color it later. Do we understand? So we're not getting up and out of our seats. All right, so we have our vocabulary. What we're going to do is create a nice little foldable booklet, which not only gives us our definitions of words, but it also gives us a nice visual picture of our vocabulary. We're going to put those things into action because the water cycle is something that we experience daily. So, pick up your yellow writing utensil. Look quickly. And I want you to notice, look up here for a second. This is me, the student. This is my desk. I'm looking at the smartboard. This is my paper in front of you, just like you have. You understand? So notice, I have my left hand up. I'm on the left side. Over here, I'm going to draw a sun. All right? So you do the same. On the left side, draw a sun. Just the sun. Don't worry about that right now. What runs the water cycle? The what? The sun. The sun is the power of the water cycle. It's the source. So this is the power source. I want you to label your sun the power source. Yep. Then I want you to pick up your green writing utensil. Doesn't matter, just agree. Let's not be specific. And I want you to give a little bit of earth here, and then a heel of earth here. And don't connect it. Just do like I did. Just do like I did. Have a little earth on the left and a little earth on the right, but on the right I have a little heel. Then pick up your blue writing utensil, because here we're going to fill in some water. We have a body of water here. Portion right here is underground. So we also have a little bit of water there underground. Okay? Then we're going to pick up our gray or light blue writing utensil. And we are going to give ourselves, remember picking up gray or light blue, and we're going to give ourselves some clouds.
From clouds, oftentimes comes rain. So I don't want to hear a lot of dotting. Make sure your rain hits the earth as well as hits the body of water. The earth and the body of water. Make raindrops, this will take a long time. With that same color. Remember, when water hits the earth, it oftentimes flows back into bodies of water. So draw an arrow of that water flowing back. Now it's not going to have a gush of water going back unless you have a flood, but I'm just drawing that to really, really illustrate. Then pick up your brown writing utensil. And right over here, right under the sun, on the left, draw yourself a tree. So you need brown and green. And then when you're done with that, you back up your pencil. All right, and then pick your pencil back up. Because within our demonstration, we have to illustrate one other thing. Our trees do something within our water cycle. We have to draw these little squiggly lines coming from our trees, showing our trees doing something. And our water also does something to show these squiggly lines from our water. Your pencil. Now, some of you are asking, what are these four things? These lines. Well, now we're going to be writing some things in those lines to talk about what's going on. So notice it's in like 4 boxes. It's like we have 4 boxes. So in this box over here to the left, the top left, this quadrant over here, we're talking about what's going on here in this section. So write what I write. This is water vapor cools as it rises. Water vapor cools as it rises and changes back to a liquid. So again, over here is demonstrating your water vapor cooling as it rises, changing back into a liquid. So that's what this area is demonstrating. This area right up in here. Good? Over here in the bottom left corner, this is warmed, like warming up, warmed on the ground. Water changes from a liquid to a what? To a gas. In the right hand quadrant, over here at the top, this is demonstrating what's happened over here. So you have water falls to earth, water then falls, because you have water falling. So it's telling us what water is doing. The falls is the verb that it's used together. So water falls to earth as what? But as, give me those types of liquid. Rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Down here in the bottom right quadrant, this is where it's demonstrating water is stored. Water is stored in bodies of water, like your streams, your lakes, your oceans, or in what? Or where else is it stored in? What came from your vocabulary? Where else does the water go? Which is called what? Groundwater, or in groundwater. Very good. Give me a chance to write it. Water is stored in bodies of water or in groundwater. So what's this stuff here? This is groundwater. Make sure you label it. So this stuff down here is groundwater. In order for water to get back to those bodies of water, one way that it does it is this stuff right here. What is that called? Runoff. So make sure you label this runoff. Okay? Now, you got to follow me, because a lot of you are going to get lost. So right, you're done? Okay. So now that you have your paper sitting in front of you looking like this, what you're going to do, take this sheet of paper like this in front of you, fold it in half. When you fold it in half and you open it up, you're going to now have a fold down the middle. Don't draw this line. This is representing my fold. You understand? Open it back up. Then you will take your, now when you're looking at it, you're going to take your left quadrant, fold it into the middle. So now you create like a little door. Take your right quadrant, fold it into the middle. So now you have double doors opening up your picture. Okay? Then keep it closed. So now it looks like you just have a piece of long paper. Okay? And I want you to take it. I want you like this. folded down. So now, when you look at it, don't draw these. When you fold it down, you've now folded here. These are your double doors in the middle. So now you have, because this is my paper, now you have how many boxes? 4 boxes, because I'm leaving it closed like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. Yep. See that? Hold it up like this. That's how I'm looking at it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this looks like this. Do you see that? Okay. So keep it closed like this. So you're not looking at the inside. You have to have these 4 areas. Everyone with me? Okay. Now we need to finish off our foldable. If you were, don't open it up because I don't want you to get lost, keep it closed. But if you were to open it up, you would see this side. If you were to open up your left top side, gives you a definition. Water vapor cools as it rises and changes back to a liquid. What is that? What is water vapor cooling, changing back to a liquid? So it's a gas back to a liquid. Chris, condensation. So this box right here, condensation. What's a short picture, or to say one simple picture we can draw to represent condensation? A cloud. This shows us a gas being back to a liquid. Okay? You don't have to color, I just want it in pencils. Just in pencils. Now, don't open your books, I don't want to lose you. But if we open our books back up, in the bottom left corner, we would see warm underground water changes from a liquid to a gas. What is water changing from a liquid to a gas? Transpiration and evaporation. Because if we look, we have evaporation from the ocean or the body of water back to the air, and then we have the trees also transferring. We have this picture to show us what that is talking about. So we have evaporation and transpiration. And we represent it as just these little arrows going up. Okay? Then if we were to open up the right flap, don't do it, you would get this right-hand corner at the top that says water falls to earth as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Precipitation. And that's represented as little raindrops or snowflakes. Now, the last box down here, the bottom right corner. This is not one of our definitions per se, because this sums up all of what's happening here. Water is stored in bodies of water or in groundwater. This is your earth getting back all of the water that is put out. Now, this doesn't have to do with the water cycle. This is just period. If you gave a bunch of things out and you need to get your things back. So let's play hangman for a moment. Don't write what I'm writing. I'm just doing this. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. Raise your hand so we can get a letter. We don't want to get home. Let's go. A. Sorry. Don't yell it out. B. Okay. General. R. Sorry. The next. T. K, Christian, C, Zoe, I, connection, sorry. Convection, sorry. Oh. Nice. L, do you know the word? Collection. This is, anytime you're getting things back, it's collection. And if we take a look at our picture, water stored in bodies of water and in groundwater. This is the earth collecting back the water. So this is your collection and runoff. Okay? Now, what we've done almost is created a nice little study foldable. So, what's happening here is, if you open your book up, so you have the flats open, what you're going to do is you're going to cut along this area. So you're going to take your scissors and follow the scissors. Do not want you to cut this into 4 corners. No, you pay attention. So you're going to place this, open it up, look up here, and you're going to cut between condensation and evaporation. So now, instead of having 1 door on the left-hand side, you now have 2 doors. Yeah, because you don't want to cut it all in half. Look at me before you cut it. You can see what it is that I'm showing you. Let me see if I can get on the screen. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can get it on the screen for you. So you have it where it looked like this, and now you cut here, and you have that, and you cut here. So it did look like this, and now it looks like this. So when you open it up, pay attention, look on the screen. When you open it up and you want to know what condensation is, it'll be able to tell you. And you have a picture of a cloud there. If you wanted to know what precipitation was, it would be there. And you have precipitation. Evaporation and transpiration, there it is. And collection and runoff. Any questions? Then you're going to take this, you're going to put some glue right here, and you're going to glue it down on in your notebook. 1 second. So then this concludes this portion of the lesson.